Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show this week. Happy Monday. Monday. Yeah, no. It only works if you say that. Sunday. I wonder which one or two that guy was that said that. But happy Monday to you. Hope you had a great weekend. Busy weekend. Wow. Yeah, there was a lot going on. Boy, Friday night we had karaoke at the Moose Lodge. That was a ton of fun. It really was. Had a lot of fun there. And Saturday actually kind of chilled out a little bit. And then Sunday was really super busy. Blue Water Coursman had their 74th annual performance that they have every time this year. And it was at the Imperial Theatre. Great audience, great music. Sisters of Choice were there. They were awesome as well. And it was, I had a lot of fun. It's the second time I've been there MC for the Blue Water Coursman, and I really enjoyed it. And I get a front row seat to this great music. So that was great. Left there, went right down to the Point Edward Memorial Arena for the home opener of the lacrosse, the Point Edward Pacers Junior B lacrosse. Say that for me. Broadcasting that, we're going to be broadcasting 8 of the 10 home games. So that was the first one. So we got 7 more. We'll be broadcasting those live, the entire game, and commentating the game for you. Liam Henderson, thank you so much. Because I was down at the Blue Water Coursman, I wasn't quite going to make it there on time. Liam Henderson covered for me doing the commentating by himself. He's fantastic. Thank you, Liam. And thanks to Mom and Dad Liam, can we say that? For allowing Liam to come and join me down there and really helped me out. And then I joined him and we had a good time. And then he was sad because he had to leave to go to hockey and he wanted to stay and finish the game there. But anyway, it was great. It was almost great. Unfortunately, the Pacers fell to the Niagara Thunderhawks. Final score 9-8. It was such a close game. The Pacers did really well. They were behind. And then they caught up, tied things up, and then it was back and forth. Niagara jumped ahead right after. And then things got tied up again. And then with very little time left on the clock, the Niagara Thunderhawks came out ahead. 238 in attendance for that. It was fantastic. And it's the fastest game on 2 feet for a reason they call it that. And try to be the commentator and keep up when that ball's flying all. It's a very quick game, and you should come on out and check it out. It's not expensive to go. I forget what the tickets are, but it's like $5. Don't quote me, but it's really cheap. It's not expensive. And be a good time, right? Everything's reasonable there. It's a lot of fun, right? Okay, so Pacers games, we'll be doing that on a regular basis. And let's go to our comments before we get underway here. Stephen Healy says, wishing you a great show. Thank you, Stephen. Who else we got out there? Corinder. Hello, Corinder. It's going to be a great show. Yes, I hope so. Thank you. And Dom says he'll be watching. Are you out there now? Fantastic. Self-produced, so I click it. Okay, if I said this, who'd remember this? Clickety-click. Bob a trick. Are you old enough to remember that? Anyway, 3 great guests. 3 great guests. Did I say that right? Say that 5 times fast. I dare you. Go. 3 great guests here today. Mairin Ring from the Sarnia School of Irish Dance is going to be here to talk about their Celtic Evening coming to the Imperial Theatre. She'll be up first on the guest list. And then we're also going to have, Carolyn Sim. She'll be here talking about Steps for Life. And then our friend Wulf Von Waldow is going to be joining us to talk about the Thefatcatz. What are the Thefatcatz? Local musical group. Got some performances coming up. So excited for that. I got some performances coming up, but we'll talk about that later. But first, let's go and see what's happening here in the Sarnia area. First things first, if you haven't got your tickets for this yet, the Sarnia Tall Ship Celebration 2019 coming to Sarnia Lambton in August the 9th to the 11th. And here's the great thing about it. Not only is the tall ships coming, which is, it's 8 to 10 tall ships coming to Sarnia. They're going to do a sail-in parade. You'll be able to buy tickets to go tour all the ships. You can actually go for a sail on the ships. Thousands have already purchased their tickets. And when I say thousands, they're not all from Sarnia Lambton. They're coming from all over Canada. People are making it a part of their vacation trips. They're coming from the United States and all over to see the tall ships. And if that wasn't enough, it's going to be a great musical weekend because Blue Water Border Fest has joined with the tall ships to have their party the same weekend. So Blue Water Border Fest, who, by the way, will be making some announcements coming up soon for who's going to be performing at that. And then, if that wasn't enough, for all you artisans, Artscape by the Bay is going to be there as well. So it's like it's going to be a fantastic weekend. Art, music, tall ships. Go online to get your tickets now. You can go to sarniatallships.com or find them on Facebook to get those tickets. Thousands are going to be here. What a great way to showcase off our great city of Sarnia Lambton, right? So, and thanks to the Carpenters Union and Imperial Sarnia site for their support of that. Long list of sponsors, but those are the main sponsors of the Tall Ships event. City of Sarnia, Tourism Sarnia Lambton helping out in there. A lot of work going on. I'm happy to say I'll be live behind the scenes for a lot of this. I'm going to be everywhere. They got me a personal driver because I'm going to be on the tall ships behind the scenes. I will be at Artscape by the Bay. I will be the MC for Blue Water Border Fest, and we'll be behind the scenes talking to some of the bands and stuff. And there's Rob Hardwood, Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of Sarnia. Thanks for stopping by, Rob. It will be epic. And pirates are rumored to be invading for the weekend. You know what a pirate's favorite movie is? One that's rated R. Is that terrible? Dad joke. Not a bad joke, a dad joke. Have you heard that term yet? Thanks, Rob Hardwood, for sharing that. More announcements coming soon for the Tall Ships, Blue Water Border Fest, Artscape by the Bay. We'll be interviewing lots of people involved. We'll maybe have Rob Hardwood will probably come back and join us to talk about it more. I'm sure we'll have some of the artists from Artscape. And we will have some artists from Blue Water Border Fest. Mark Perrin will probably come back and join us as well. There's going to be a set date of announcements. All the media will be invited to that. So looking forward to that. I'm really excited for this. This is epic is the right word. This is going to be an amazing weekend. Tall Ships alone would be epic. Theater 40, I've had trouble talking all weekend. Maybe it's because I talk too much. Do I talk too much? Don't answer that. Theater 42 getting ready to have their performance of The Cake, a performance directed by Henry Canino, and that starts tomorrow, April 30th, and runs till May 3rd. Can you believe, it's May? I don't know what happened. It's like winter didn't even exist this year because it was a mild winter. Theater 42, go online to their Facebook page, and you can order tickets right online for that as well. April 30th to May 3rd, The Cake at Theater 42. Where is Theater 42? It's at the corner of Divine and Indian, pardon me, here in Sarnia. It's the old Union Hall, I call it, right? The Unifor Union Hall is there as well, right at the corner of Divine and Indian. Theater 42, a fantastic room for theater, and it's also available for you to rent, and they got a fantastic sound system, a bar in there, and it's fantastic. Refined for Relay. This is in support of the Canadian Cancer Society. Some folks got together and they're having a fundraiser for the Relay for Life team. And Refined for Relay is happening on Wednesday, May the 1st. And that starts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, goes to midnight. And a portion of all the sales of merchandise, drinks, etc., goes towards the fundraising effort here. Fantastic. This is at the Refined Fool Midtown, one on London Road there. I don't get to that one too often. Davis Street one. I was in there the other day at the Davis Street Refined Fool. Since it'd been renovated, I forgot it'd been renovated, and walked in there with Adam Dumont. We were having a chat there from Sarnia Sings, and it's really, really nice in there. It's great. They did a fantastic job in there. So Refined for Relay at Midtown Refined Fool. That's happening Wednesday, May the 1st. Speaking of Wednesday, May the 1st, and I am really super excited. Did you hear the change in my voice when I'm getting ready to talk about Chrissy McRoberts from Dog Eat Dog? Talk about an artist. Like, she builds cool stuff, man, rustic stuff and furniture and tables, and she is living her dream. She was on the show a few weeks ago. Was so happy to connect and have her on here. She's getting her own commercial location. She used to run this from her home, and now Lookout Mitten Village, Dog Eat Dog, is taken over 161 Mitten Street South. So it's just south of Five Corners. And I didn't know where this was. She kept it secret. She didn't even tell me. She wouldn't tell me on the show. She's funny. But if you want to keep a secret, don't park your car out front of the building, Chrissy. I figured it out the other day when I didn't. I'm like, oh, because I'd actually driven up and down Mid Street going, it could be there, it could be there. Oh, the other day she had her car parked out front. So I was like, it's around there. So anyway, it's just south of Five Corners, 161 South Mitten. Grand opening, as you would call it, of her new location on May the 1st, this coming Wednesday. Starts at noon, goes to 7 o'clock. Get down there, go say hello to Chrissy, congratulate her on her success. Check out, oh man, and she's looking for artisans to join her in the location as well. So you could, getting caught on my watch here. Just go see her. And she's just a fantastic human being. She gives back a lot to the community, has done clothing drives, etc. And she's just an all-around. Just go in there and give her a big hug. Tell her David sent you. I'll be there at some point. I don't know what time. Noon to 7. I'm going to go there. We'll do live broadcasts there for Chrissy as well. Okay, let's go over to the comments again. Ronnie Fraser giving us thumbs up. How you doing, Ronnie? Good to see you. Always a pleasure. Elaine Hayter. Hello. Elaine Tracy Hayter. Yeah, Dog Eat Dog. Can't wait to go to the grand opening on Wednesday. We're so excited. And Chrissy put a post on her. If you go to her Facebook page, she put a post on there just saying thank you to so many people that have helped her. One of them being Stephanie Purdy, and there's a long list there. And she's just amazing. You get the point, right? 161 South Mitten here in Sarnia, Wednesday, May the 1st. I'll be there. All righty. Who else is out there? Have fun with the stream. Oh, hey, Alfredo. How are you? Thanks for watching. And if you are watching and you're enjoying the show so far, we got some special guests coming up here in just a moment. I'm waiting for my first guest to arrive, I'll be honest. Please click the share button and share it around to your Facebook and your timelines to spread the word of what's happening here. Cheeky Monkey, it's First Friday, May 1st Friday. Like I said, how did that happen? It's like the 5th month of the year. Do I want to say it? Christmas is coming. And it'll be here before you know it. Time flies really fast when you're having fun. Cheeky Monkey, May 3rd, First Friday. I can't talk. Did we just start over? It's live. We have to keep going, right? May 3rd, First Friday, downtown, Cheeky Monkey. Lots of stuff happening downtown for First Friday. Always, I could talk about everything going on downtown, but I'm really a big fan of Cheeky Monkey, so I tend to talk about them. They're great supporters. The Casuals, a local musical group, going to be down there playing and performing and having lots of fun from 7 to 9. But don't wait. Cheeky Monkey will be there all day, which they just had Record Store Day not too long ago. And I ran into Marion and Roland at the bank, actually. And I said, how did that go? Because I couldn't make it down. I forget what I was doing. I was busy I was working somewhere. And they said, fantastic. Lots of people. People were buying up the deals and everything. They always have exclusive record store deals that the big guys don't even get. Walmart. Yeah. Go down there, see Cheeky Monkey. We'll go see them anytime. They're there all week, except Sunday. And then check out the Casuals and go for a walkabout downtown. There's lots of things happening on there, but particularly stop in and say hello to Cheeky Monkey. Revelry is happening once again at 148 Front Street North here in Sarnia, and Hayden Mellon will be there playing music, and DJ Discreet will go on after that. Doors open at 5 o'clock. It's only $3. Throw a $5 bill in there. Should be $5. You got to get out there and support. again, just another fun event happening. June the 13th, in support of the End of the Good Shepherd, Surf and Turf. I didn't make it to this last year. And why didn't I make it last year? Who got to go? Oh, Jennifer. My wife got to go. All in support of the End of the Good Shepherd. And Jennifer had a great, and she's not a big seafood lover, but she went there and she had a fantastic time. So that was great. Alrighty. I'm going to check in with my first guest. So just bear with me, folks, as we look for her. Here it is live. When you're live and self-producing, sometimes you have to go through these things. Stay with me, folks. I'll be right back.
Hello, Dave. Can you hear me? Hello, I can't hear you, Dave. No. Oh. Hello? I can see you, but I can't hear you. Oh,
That's better.
There we go.
All right. It's been a technical day, let me tell you. Earlier today, had issues with my other show, but here we are. And my other guest's trying to make her way on, so we'll see what happens. Carolyn, how have you been?
Pretty good, Dave. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Other than the technical issues, I'm doing fantastic. I appreciate you taking the time to join me here today. We're going to talk about Steps for Life, and let's tell everybody just exactly what that is, and then maybe we can talk a little bit about your involvement and then what's happening with it.
Okay, Steps for Life is a 5-kilometer walk. It's walking for families of workplace tragedy. It's to help support families affected by workplace tragedy, whether it be fatalities, life-altering injuries, or life-altering illnesses. And so it's also to raise awareness about the importance of safety in the workplace.
Right. And this is really, this is a really emotional and personal thing for a lot of people because they get affected by life changes overnight with what we're talking about here, right? Definitely. How, when we say tragedy, we're talking like a major change in a person's life.
Absolutely. So for myself personally, I've been affected by workplace tragedy. I lost my late spouse due to an incident on a construction site, and unfortunately he passed away.
Yep.
So Steps for Life helps raise funds to raise money for our support services and programs. And some of those things include family forum, where family members, up to 4 family members, can attend to go to a family forum in Central Ontario. And it also raises money for volunteer family guides to provide over the phone peer support to individuals, and also to receive a free newsletter. We've also been raising money to try to get peer support groups going in different communities such as Sarnia.
Right. And how long, like, how does what am I trying to say? Is there like a limited amount of time that a person can use those services, or is it ongoing as long as they need the support there?
It is definitely ongoing. It's as long as the family member needs. Some people might only utilize the services for a couple of years, and some people might be lifelong members of Threads of Life.
Right. Now, as someone like yourself who's had this experience, I mean, that's I guess that's an obvious reason why you're involved with the organization. But what would life have been like without this type of support?
I think certainly for myself, I don't think I would have been able to move on in a way that was healthy had I not found Threads of Life. I did have a pretty good support network with family and friends,
right,
but it still felt like people didn't understand what I was going through. And when I found Threads of Life, which is what Steps for Life Walk funds, I felt like I finally found sort of that club you don't want to belong to, but I was really glad that I found it because people understood what I was going through.
Yeah. and even as much as family, and not everybody has family support. We don't all have families around, right? But
Right.
you're fortunate to have had that. But even after a while, and even, if you have a best friend, even you sort of kind of feel like you're bothering people, or you're bringing them down. Oh, she's talking about that again. Or you don't want to bother anybody. We don't like to bother anybody, right?
Yes, and I definitely felt like that as well. I didn't want to keep burdening people with. I think sometimes people think, well, it should be time to move on. And like I said, I had a lot of support, but I didn't want to burden people, the family that was supporting me, my friends that were supporting me. And it was helpful to speak to other widows who were experiencing similar things as to what I was going through.
Yeah. And right. Common ground, right. I guess is the importance there. And I think, death is something that none of us like to experience. And most of us expect to experience it in a natural way, I guess. Right.
Right.
So
right.
when something like this happens, like, holy crap. I think a lot of us might say, okay, well, like over a certain amount of time, okay, you just got to move on. You just got to move on. It's not that oral, right? I mean, you do have to move on, but the process of moving on is the difficult part of it.
It is, because often with these workplace tragedy incidents, what happens is, it's often something that was preventable. And that's part of what Steps for Life Walk is all about, is encouraging our unions, our local chemical plants, our local businesses to get involved, our local community, and raise awareness. We want to make sure everybody gets home safely to their family. And this walk sort of brings the whole community together and gets them out. And it's a very unique walk. There are signs all along the walk of people that have been died from a workplace injury, fatality, or are living with a life-altering workplace illness, and so it's very impactful.
Yeah, and a good point that you make there too. It's not always, the tragedy is not always death. It's often, it can also be just a change of your disabilities created, or brain injury, or there's a whole list of things that happen. It's not just death, right? Hello? Boy, we're really having a technical day. Carolyn, I'm going to drop you down. You've frozen on me there, but if you can hear me, refresh and try to come back. We just move on. All right. So I'm not sure what happened to Carolyn, but we lost her. But we're talking about Threads of Life and the Steps for Life walk that's happening this Saturday, May the 4th, and in support of Threads for Life, as we're talking about workplace tragedy there. So not sure if Carolyn will make it back in there, but we do have our next guest is available that we can bring them on and talk to them as well. If you love music, you're going to love these guys. They got quite the original sound, I would have to say, is how I would describe it. The Thefatcatz, and here we're going to bring them on right now.
Hey, Dave.
How are we today?
Good. Great.
Right on. Yeah, Wulf, we've got you there, and I'm sorry I didn't know who this other gentleman is you're bringing on.
Dan Martin. He's our bass player.
Hey, Dan, how are you?
Hey, Dave. Good. You?
I'm doing excellent. You guys, you guys are busy lately, right?
Yeah, we're trying.
Yeah, yeah. Wulf is he's kind of like the marketing guy for the group, isn't he?
Yeah, I have to give Wulf a lot of the credit for bringing our band to the wider audience for sure.
Yeah, yeah. You've got an event coming up this Saturday at Paddy Flaherty's.
Yes, we do.
So
Yeah.
who are the Thefatcatz? How many members are there in the Thefatcatz?
We have 4 of us. Me, Dan here.
Yeah.
Chris Reed on drums and Roberto Gismondi on guitar.
Oh yeah, okay, Roberto.
Yeah,
And how long, you guys have been playing together for quite some time?
yeah, almost a decade now. Hard to believe.
Perfect. And is it
I've known
the
these-
original 4?
Yeah,
Yeah, originally we were actually a jazz band,
Right.
and we played a couple years as a jazz band, and we disbanded. And then I was playing in my cover bands like I always do,
Right.
and I was like, I need to do something different.
Okay.
So I'm like, who can I call? I'm like, I know exactly the guys I want to call.
And the fact
All these guys are tremendous players. They all used to teach at the music box, so they're music teachers. So
right.
the I don't want to be egotistical, but the quality of talent in the band is very, very high.
Right. Pardon me while I've been having a technical day here. Okay. Yeah, well, and you can give yourself some credit in there now, Wulf. I mean, you're quite the saxophone player.
Yes, I am. I'm in 4 bands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like the busiest out of all the 4 in the group. How do you do that?
oh for sure.
I do most of the bookings for all the groups, so I can arrange it.
Yeah,
Right, right.
it really is the
This is
dedication.
what you do, though, right, Wulf?
Hmm?
This is what you do.
This is what I do. I do this and teach.
Yeah, you're a professional musician. How hard is that?
It's difficult. I don't make a lot of money there, Dave.
Yeah, it's I think musicians are just they're undervalued. I think, right?
Yes.
You're either like there's no middle, right? You're either like way down here or way up here.
Yeah,
But so it's your passion, though, is that right?
It is. It's all of our passions. We're all very passionate about what we do.
Yeah, yeah.
The other guys, Chris and Roberto, they're also in another band. What are they called again?
Highway Jones.
Highway Jones.
Oh, is that right? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we're all involved in other musical projects always.
Right. Nobody's going solo yet, though, right?
No, I think the core 4 of us will always kind of stay together as our. It's sort of our fun project,
Right.
where we get to let loose a little bit and play with these guys. We've been playing for a long time, so it's really enjoyable.
Yeah.
And
So
our original work is where we really shine, is our original stuff.
Right. And what's your genre? Like, would you have a style? Like, what would you label yourself as if you had to?
Well, we're instrumental rock band most of the time.
Yeah,
While we're doing that, we throw in our original tunes, and those are jazz rock fusion stuff.
Jazz, rock, fusion. That's quite a mix.
Yeah. We also do just jazz. So we will do just jazz gigs as a jazz band too.
Right. So you're pretty eclectic that way, and I guess because now does that genre or that style that you just described does that limit you to venues that you can play?
well, I think we try to adapt a lot to the venue that we're playing at. A lot of live bars or restaurants. Maybe you want some dinner music that's a bit more jazzy, but later in the evening you want to be playing rock music or something that can get people on the dance floor. So we just try to do our best to sort of adapt to the audience and the venue.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've often had to do gigs where it's just just jazz or like dinner music or maybe a wedding or something like that. So, and that's how
Right.
our band originally started. But of course, the guitar just gets louder and louder, and the drums get louder and louder, and eventually you're a rock band. That's basically what happens.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, and it's a good point because I want to talk about. So you're playing Paddy Flaherty's this Saturday, but then later in the month, May 24th, you're going to Lake Point Grill House and Restaurant, which they're now having music on Friday evenings and Saturday afternoons, and you're going to be there in the evening. So that's kind of the dinner music you're talking about.
Well, actually, they're looking for a younger crowd, so we're going to be playing instrumental rock that night.
Oh, okay. Well, see, yeah, good example how you can change it up like that. That's a talent in itself. I gotta tell you, so because I know like other times you'll think of a rock band, so they only play certain bars, or a country band, like the Blues Brothers didn't do well in a country bar, right? So
Right.
it's great that you're able to do that. And is that now when you talk about your originals that you play as well? That's a tough thing to break into too, because I think a lot of times people are wanting to hear music that they're familiar with, right? Are you getting good response from your audience when you play the originals?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we try to mix it in, not too much. Like you said, they want to hear stuff they recognize. So you slip one or two originals in between, and definitely gets a good response, though. People like to hear, like I said, it sort of lets us let loose and show off what we're all good at, of course. So I think people appreciate that aspect of it. People like original music at the same time. So, we've gotten good response.
I've always found, I said this to a band a long time ago, maybe, when you're going to play an original, don't tell them it's an original. Don't say this is an original of ours. Play the song, and if you get a good response, then you can say, yeah, that was one of our own. But if you don't get a good response, you just move on.
Yeah.
That one.
The audience will be biased. They know, right? You want to keep them. Yeah.
Now, when you guys collaborate together when you who writes the music, who writes the lyrics? How does that come together?
Usually Rob comes with the chord progression.
The guitar,
Yeah, with it, and Dan and then Dan and Chris add the bass and drums. And then it's up to me to provide the melody line for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a joint effort then, obviously.
Yeah, it's sort of how the band started. I've known Roberto for the longest, having taught with him for years. So we would just sit together in the guitar room and play guitar for hours and hours. Eventually I decided, well, he's better at guitar, so I'll play bass. But I had played bass before. But basically these big, long guitar jam sessions, right? And then you find a saxophone player who can actually keep up with the guitar shredders.
Right.
And so, it's just a lot of the big jam sessions kind of inspires our songwriting. And we record everything we jam. And the next week, Roberto will come back and say, listen to what we played last week, because we don't remember. But it's nice to have a recording of it, and then we can go from there and build upon it and make it into a song.
I was laughing because when you said that, well, it's good to recognize your strengths, but you got to recognize your weaknesses too, right? So if you go, but I like how you said, well, he's a better guitar player than me, so I'll just play bass. It's all the bass guy orders the pizza, doesn't he? Right?
Yeah. I'm maybe being a little humble, but I mean, the point stands. Roberto is a phenomenal guitar player.
No question.
Know. Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I know, and Dan is an amazing bass player. I mean, the caliber of his bass playing is very high.
Well, I haven't seen you guys in a while, so I'm really hoping that I can get out and see you at Paddy Flaherty's this coming week. What time do you go on?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Around 9.
And play till the wee hours of the.
Play till they tell us to stop. Yep.
Right on. Fantastic. Well, guys, I got to move on, but thank you so much for taking the time to come on here. And I know we've got the Facebook page up there, facebook.com, Thefatcatz, all one word. And you've also, you're on YouTube, right? You can just go to YouTube and type Thefatcatz.
Yeah. If you're on YouTube, if I type Thefatcatz and then Canada.
Thefatcatz Canada. Okay, perfect.
Because there is another band in the States called the Thefatcatz.
Unfortunate.
And they're not us, but
they're not
You
as
can
good
find
as
us also on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play, and anywhere you can find music. Yeah, we've got our original music up on all the websites. So.
Fantastic. Well, we'll get people to check you out, and we'll post all those links after the show. Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. Wulf, thanks for setting this up, and maybe we'll see you Saturday down at Paddy Flaherty's.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome back anytime. Come on back. There you go, the Thefatcatz joining us there. Thanks so much, guys, for being here. And again, folks, I apologize for the technical issues. I don't know what's happening, but it's live. And my music teacher taught me a long time ago, if you missed a note, just keep going. So that's what we're still here. We're still going. I'm just going to, I do have my first guest is now ready, but I'm going to go back to Carolyn for just a moment here and short and sweet to wrap things up. Carolyn, I don't know what happened there, but we lost you for a moment.
Yes, I'm not sure what happened, Dave.
It's usually an internet thing, and the internet gremlins are like in all of my computers today, and my friend, it's happening to everybody. So I just wanted to bring you back to wrap up so I can move on to Mairin, who's coming on next. But so it's the Steps for Life walk is happening this Saturday, right?
This Saturday, registration's at 9:30 a.m. The walk starts sharply at 10:30 a.m. It's at the Animal Farm in the Pavilion in Canatera Park. And there'll be coffee, cookies, pop, pizza. Children under 13 are free. And it's $15 for anybody 14 and over. And we can do walk-ups, but we encourage people to sign up online if they can. And the online registration closes tomorrow, Tuesday at 11:30 p.m.
Okay, great. And is there a link for that you can send me, and I'll make sure we post it after the show.
I will definitely do that. We also have door prizes, and there'll be a silent auction as well to raise extra money. So hopefully we'll get lots of people out.
Yeah, you should get a pretty decent turnout for this, though, right?
Yes, we aim for 125 people. We don't have that many signed up yet. It seems really slow this year. We're a lot lower in our funds raised this year. We're only at about 7,800, and normally we'd be around 18,000 right now. So it's been a bit disheartening, but hopefully we get some last minute shows, and it's a great day.
Well, that is Sarnia, last minute.
Yes, for sure.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I promise I'll push it out there after the show. We'll see if we can get some more people out there to join you. I apologize for whatever happened there, but here we are.
Well, so thank you so much for having them.
You're welcome back anytime. Don't wait for the Steps for Life walk. You can come back anytime and talk about this. I'd be happy to have you. It's always a joy to talk to you anyway.
Oh, same here. Thank you so much, Dave. You have a great day.
You too. Thanks. My friend Carolyn Sim, known her a long time, known her family a long time, and fantastic lady to talk to. Steps for Life. They need some help. You can get out there and give your support, and we'll have all the details, again, posted after the show to get out there and help Steps for Life here in Sarnia. All right, we're going backwards here today, but that's okay. We push through these things. Mairin Ring is in the lobby. We're ready to bring her on now. Let's see how this goes. Hello. I can't hear you. I don't want to be a smarty, but did you plug it in? Now I can hear you.
Now you can hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Okay.
I can also hear myself. Are you watching this on Facebook as well?
No. Well, let me see. Oh, yes, maybe I am. Let me turn that off. Let me turn that tab. Yep, okay.
Hi, Mairin.
I apologize. I still don't even know what went wrong, but I am of that demographic. I'm not techie and tried to follow instructions, but it didn't quite work. But I tried a few times.
And here's what I tell everybody. Now this is your first time. You got through it. Now you're a pro. You can do this anytime.
I'm not quite sure how it happened, but maybe so.
Thank you so much for joining me. I'm excited for what we're going to talk about here. Another Celtic Evening coming up. You're with, let's tell everybody who you are first. You're with the Sarnia School of Irish Dance, correct?
That's right. I'm at Sarnia School of Irish Dance.
Okay.
That's
Now,
us.
are you a teacher?
Not really. I started out as one of the people to try to get the school going 22 years ago. And just because I have been involved in it, I do some teaching. I'm like an assistant teacher, but I'm not the main instructor for sure.
Okay. So where does your passion for this come from, other than the fact that you're obviously Irish?
Well, that's really it, I guess. Said 22 years ago, myself and some other Irish women here in Sarnia were, talking about how it was a shame that there wasn't any place in Sarnia where you could do Irish dance, learn it. So we said, well, we'll do it then. We'll try to get a school going. And it took a little while. It took us a while to find a teacher, and we had a couple of false starts, but here we are 22 years later, still on the go. So
That's
going
fantastic.
well.
And this type of dance is definitely, it's got its own unique style for sure, right? There's just a lot going on in a performance.
Yeah, an Irish dance has it has its own history, of course, but it also has a lot of similarity with other dances. I mean, East Coast dancing and Ottawa Valley, Quebec dancing, that step dancing evolved from Irish dance and perhaps other ethnic dances, even like English Morris dancing or Scottish Highland dancing. So there's a lot of overlap in those kind of traditional ethnic dances and how things moved from the old world to the new world and so on.
Right. And have you seen, of course, being around it a long time, have you seen a big change in the style and how it's has it evolved, or has it stayed very true to tradition?
Oh, it's definitely evolved, and and of course most people know where that came from. It came from river dance, which was the two American dancers, Gene Butler, Michael Flatley, who just kind of blew onto the stage really because they took the traditional Irish dance, the hard shoe steps, and they really speeded them up and made them very they modernized it really. So you have both. You have very much river dance with it's very dynamic, it's very fast, very very visual, very catchy, and then but you still have the traditional dances, which are very similar. They're all the same footwork. They might not be quite as jazzy, if you like. So they all coexist, the modern and the more traditional. But certainly, river dance brought Irish dance from the ethnic dance out to mainstream. I mean, in our dance, it's not all Irish people that are in our dance school. In fact, probably the minority are people with an Irish background. So people come there because they like that dance. They don't come there because it's part of their heritage or something like that.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and so I guess you can sort of thank river dance for that and bringing it mainstream. It's gotten more attention now. And I mean, the word Celtic too. I mean, I've always found anyway, for me, just the music alone, when you say the word Celtic, I just want to hear it. It's its own uniqueness as well, for sure. This Celtic Evening that you've got coming up, this is typically a big hit, right?
Yeah, it's been very popular, and I should say it's not just us. It's not just Irish dancing. We have other guests, local guests of Celtic flavour, including our colleagues, the Highland dancers, the Scottish Highland dancers, which is very popular. Yeah, and musicians and singers. So it's a variety of entertainment with the Celtic flavour.
And of course, very special guests that are joining you, Rant Maggie Rant.
That's right. They're also very popular and come from the London, Stratford area. They're based there, and yeah, they're wonderful, wonderful, lively music. As you say, the music is so catchy, and of course, most of that Irish traditional music, or a lot of Scottish as well, was dance music. So there's such a synergy between, when we have live music, we love having live music because that's perfect to have. We sort of bounce off each other.
Yeah,
when
there's
we have-
definitely. I haven't been yet. I'm hoping I get to go, but I had spoken to some friends who have been in the past, and they're like, it is just so beautiful, and it's just there's so much energy in the room. You can feel the energy, and you can hear the dancers, right? Especially at the Imperial Theatre on that solid wooden floor that's up there. The dancing has its own music, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah, and yeah, especially at the front actually of the Imperial Theatre, because that's hollow because it's over the pit, the orchestra pit. Yeah, so you really have to have good sound there if you're in hard shoe, because you really can't hear it. It's good sound.
Yeah. Now, do you dance yourself?
I do. I think I have the honor of being the oldest dancer in the group at the moment, because I started dancing when. With the group 22 years ago. And I was interested in it because I have 2 kids, and I thought it would be nice for them to have that opportunity to be able to dance. And so I just decided to dance because, well, it's good exercise, and I might as well dance because I was at the class. But now I dance along with everybody else. So it's for all ages and, all abilities.
Yeah, and so how many people are in this cast, would you say?
We've got over 30 dancers in our class, ranging from, I think our youngest is probably 5 or 6, and well, I'm the oldest, and I'm not telling you how old I am, but
I won't.
You won't ask. We have lots of elementary school and high school dancers, and then we've a small adult group, about 7 or 8 dancers that are adults, and most of them actually are parents. They're actually moms who would come and sit in class, and then after a while they thought, well, watch their kids dance, and then after a while they said, well, I think I'd like to do that, and so now you have families, which is really neat to have that.
Yeah, and it sounds like a bit of an extended family sort of atmosphere being created there at the school, and especially with all the different age levels that you have going on.
Yeah,
there.
Yeah. So we have.
Go ahead.
I was going to say we have some dances where we have small groups or sets or figures, as we call them, and then other ones where we have the whole group. So usually our opener, everybody dances in that, and our finale, everybody dances in that. So that's a lot of people on the stage, over 30 dancers. Yeah, it's quite visual, and then with the colors of the costumes, which we have capes, and then we have quite bright colors because we have embroidery on our costumes. So it's quite visual to see a large group like that on the stage.
Certainly. So a lot of work to put this on. I mean, a lot of coordination, like I say, between the dressing attire and the practice and rehearsals. That's quite a big commitment to have that many people put that commitment in and make everything work.
Yeah, for us, this is the high point of our year. This is, we go from September to June, and we take part in community events like Canada Day, or on St. Patrick's Day, we had, I think, like 7 places that we danced over 7 days, senior citizen homes and St. Patrick's Day church dinner, stuff like that. But this event is our event, so we host it, and we have guests. But for us, this is kind of our, this is what we're working towards all year, is, showcasing what we've been working on through the year.
Right. Fantastic. Well, let's get some people out there to see the show. It's at the Imperial Theatre this Saturday. You can go to imperialtheatre.net to get the tickets. How much are the tickets?
So it's $18 for adults. It's $15 for seniors or children. And then we have a group rate for, if there's 4 people, it's $60. So again, it's $15 because we know there are families, that want to go, and that starts to kind of drive the price up.
Sure.
And one thing we really kind of work hard at is trying to make this affordable. And so if you don't mind, I would like to make a plug for our sponsors, which
Absolutely.
is Paddy Flaherty's assists us greatly, and Glen Bay Project Centres, and then Glen Bay Project Services, and the Best Western. They help us out with accommodating some of our guests. So without our sponsors, we would not be able to make this as affordable, as it is.
Yeah, well, it's fantastic. You got that community support. I read Paddy Flaherty's. I'm quite sure years ago, I saw a performance from the School of Irish Dance down there. Have you been there before?
Oh yeah, we've danced there several times. Now we don't go there on St. Patrick's Day because that is kind of very busy day for them. But pretty much any other day that it kind of works out, we would go there. In fact, that's how we met. Rant Maggie Rant was they were playing in Paddy Flaherty's, and they asked around. They said, would there be some dancers that would dance with us? And that must be 7 or 8 years ago. I can't remember exactly, but we've performed with them in other places. And then they come and join us in our show. So we really like working with them.
Yeah, well, it's going to be an amazing performance, and I really hope I can make it. I got a lot of places I got to be, but I definitely was talking to my wife the other day about it. So we should go do that. So we'll probably see you down there. Great. Thank you so much for taking the time to push through and get yourself here.
Yeah, thanks, and sorry about all the techie stuff. I'm just pretty hopeless in that regard.
It's all good. You did just fine. Thank you so much for being here, and come back anytime you want to talk about any of the events.
Sure. Thanks very much.
You're very welcome. Anytime. Thank you, Mairin.
Thanks.
Mairin Ring from the School of Irish Dance, and they're getting ready for their Celtic Evening coming to the Imperial Theatre this Saturday. Like I said, there's a different list of prices of tickets starting at $15 to $18 and a group rate for families, which is fantastic. And as Mairin mentioned, they're very grateful to their sponsors who have participated to be able to make that happen. So thanks, Mairin, for being here. Wow, that was an interesting show as far as technicalities go, but it's proof that you just move on, move forward, and it's live, right? What are you going to do? So thank you to my guests once again. Carolyn Sim was here talking to us about these steps for life coming up this week. Wulf Von Waldow and joining us to talk about the Thefatcatz. And then, of course, there's Mairin Ring with a Celtic Evening. And I want to say thanks to Dave Dediger from Blackburn Radio who informed me about the event, and we were able to connect there with Mairin. So thank you to all my guests. Thank you to all of you. I do appreciate you being here every Monday. And maybe you're not here live right now, but maybe you're on the replay. But if you're saying that, then it's not really the replay because I'm live right now. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. I do appreciate you being here. Regardless, please take the time, if you enjoy what we're talking about here on the show, to share it around. And if you don't like looking at me or you just can't, whatever, you can listen to me. Take me on the road with you everywhere podcasts are found, including Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify. We're there too. Wherever podcasts are found, you can download me into your phone and go for a jog. Take me with you. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. That's all the time we got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. And I will see you next time right here on the show. Bye for now.